Actually, TICAD is one of the pioneer forms of cooperation between Africa and any partner since it started in 1993. And since then, it has represented for Africa an excellent framework of cooperation with Japan, as it represents also the platform of cooperation with multiple stakeholders. The co-organizers of TICAD, like the United Nations and the World Bank and the African Union, ensure that this kind of cooperation is more productive and based mainly on the African ownership of this initiative. So indeed, the TICAD is one of the major important partnerships between Africa and any international partner. As you know, Egypt has been elected to chair the African Union during the current year, 2019, which coincides also with the TICAD 7 summit, which will be held in Yokohama next August. And Egypt will be co-chairing the TICAD summit along with Japan and the co-organizers. And in this respect, Egypt also will mainly focus on the priorities of the African Union during the next summit, and will try to fulfill all the expectations of the African people while we co-chair the next summit. Egypt will be keen during the co-chairing of the next summit to showcase its experience in the cooperation with Japan. Also, Egypt has its own agency for partnership for development that has been functioning in Africa for several decades. And there has been a very successful cooperation between JICA and the Egyptian Agency for Partnership for Cooperation and Development and Africa, and we currently have several training programs that are executed with third-party partners in Africa. And I think Egypt will focus on this aspect of cooperation, the triangular cooperation, during the next TICAD 7 summit. And also, I think Egypt will be quite useful in establishing a productive relationship between Japan and the African countries if we benefit from the success stories of cooperation tools, specifically in the educational field, like the Egyptian-Japanese University for Science and Technology, that is the overseas university that Japan dedicates for cooperation in science and technology, and it could be used as a tool for this educational cooperation between Japan and the African countries. So we have really several aspects of cooperation and several experiences that has been success stories between Egypt and Japan in the field of cooperation, and I think we can benefit from these tools and these experiences during the next TICAD summit. And this is what Egypt will be trying to focus on how to transfer its knowledge and know-how, the capacity building, the transfer of technologies, and focusing also on the human security, the education, and the capacity building are a very important factor for Africa. As you know, Africa hosts the biggest percentage of youth. 20% of the youth in the whole world are concentrated in Africa, and this is why we call Africa the young continent, and it's full of opportunities and potential. And I think that if we combine the Egyptian expertise with the Japanese cooperation for development, we could reach very successful results in the field of cooperation in the framework of the next TICAD summit.